These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Try, and you too will be sold. It's called a freak. They're doing it night and day. Allow us, we'll show you the way. Aw, freak out!
Two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of America's Barley Basket. I am your host, Marlon Wells, alongside host Nathan Volsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How are you, bud?
Surviving.
Yeah?
Really could use a bath. Not gonna lie.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Dirty boy.
Are you a dirty boy? You all greased up?
All greased up.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Came over here fresh out of bed. Dirty boy. I was like, you know what? Marlon deserves the real me.
Those shorts are alarmingly high.
You like that?
They're
Yes,
high.
They're
high.
It's confusing your feelings.
Yep.
Yeah, it has an effect on people.
We're working with a mid-thigh
You like it?
shorts.
Like that mole there? That is a beauty mark is what that's sometimes referred to
Yeah.
in some cultures.
I don't know about this culture. I don't know that that's what I'll call it today, but some big old fucking tree trunks on you, bud.
You wanna comb my leg hair? Put a nice part in
you
it?
could. It's quite long. You could braid it and throw beads in it like a Viking's beard.
Some cultures, this is a sign of virility. I just got to find the right culture for me.
Right, yeah.
Somewhere I'm a prize.
Anything you do, you can be like, in some cultures, this is a good thing. Yes, but we're in this one.
You don't live in Swaziland.
Right. You don't live where this is okay.
It's quite the opposite here in America.
We got an in-person one. You're in town.
It's true.
You're in town in Fargo, enjoying yourself, enjoying everything we have to offer here.
It's a beautiful town in the summer. Just drinking in all the visual splendor one gets in the middle of the prairie.
Yep, and a lot of. It's a real humid one. I was a real wet boy earlier
Sticky
today.
boy. Yeah, that's a damp.
It was gross.
A couple of damp daddies
It
sitting
was
here.
gross. I had to run to the liquor store before you showed up.
Oh,
I had to get supplied up.
rum.
And
Get some rum.
it was like immediately, as soon as I was outside, just like, no, I don't
Phooey.
like this. Daddy's wet.
No.
Gross.
Yeah, it is. It's been a hot, muggy summer.
Yep, but I'm not one to complain because it's going to be a fucking life-threatening winter like it always is.
Yeah.
So I try not to bitch about the
Like
summer.
4 months from Christmas. It's right around the corner.
Ugh, we're going to be out on the road risking our lives to tell jokes to a dozen barflies that didn't know there was a comedy
We're
show.
very bummed that we're there.
Yep, because they just want to watch high school basketball on television.
Nope. We got to listen to us talk about our assholes for 90 minutes.
Excuse me, guys. I have some things to say.
About your town that I've never been to and probably will never return to.
Yep.
You're going to really get a kick out of this. Yeah.
God willing, I will never be back. But here we are.
Yeah, let's make the worst of it.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't have attractive leg hair?
Who's that?
The Simpsons.
That's the Simpsons.
That's too fancy of animation
Do we know
for them.
that? Do we know
I
that?
mean, if it's there, it's pretty minute.
Yeah.
We've seen them in swimming trunks.
We're 26 seasons in. I feel like we'd have seen it by now,
Yeah.
I don't know that this show has anything to show us that we haven't seen.
Right. I mean, who knows? We got a ways to go still. Maybe there'll be some shocking revelations.
Yeah.
We're starting with episode 10, season 26, The Man Who Came to Be Dinner. Simpsons family take off for a trip to an amusement park called Disneyland.
Yeah.
Spelt in a way that is
Z's and E's.
not litigious.
I think not the first time we've seen Disneyland.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I think in an early episode, they even crack a joke on the sign about not getting sued or
you're
something
right.
like that.
You're totally right. Yep. That does come up. And we've done this before where we've been to Disneyland, but we've also been to Itchy and Scratchy Land. So we've seen, it's Homer belly aching, Homer stuck in traffic. Kids are doing the "Are we there yet?" shit.
I can't fucking believe, and I know that this has come up before, but the gall of that "Are we there yet?" shit these are animated fake children on
Still
television.
grating.
And I was like, I mean, you could probably thump them a little bit. Jesus, this is insanity.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's torturous. So they get there. It's a lot of just joking about how fucking big a train wreck giant. You're standing in line. Everything's insanely expensive.
You ever been to a place like this before? You ever been to like an amusement park? I for sure have not.
I was in my 20s. We never would have went as a family, as kids.
Right.
But I went to Universal Studios and I went to SeaWorld when I was like 22. And I mean, it's something. It's a lot of cars.
Yeah, like I have friends that go to Disney World and Universal and all that, and I don't like rides, so it is already not really my jam.
I don't mind some of the rides they have at like Universal Studios are like beyond county fair, spin you in a circle. So some of them are cool. But yeah,
I don't fit in any of the rides either.
Yeah, Universal Studios, you'd be surprised, but there was one where I was doing the fucking SpongeBob, I'm a get or whatever it is. It's like, I'll go hang out and stand. I was just eyeballing it. I was like 10th in line. I'm like, I don't want to get in the seat and have them push the bar down. Be like, sorry, chief. I don't need that for my self-esteem. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go check out the merch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find a park bench and just hang for a minute.
But I was shocked. I did find while they were all on that ride, I went and found the Blues Brothers actual car.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's the kind of shit Universal Studios has that keeps me intrigued.
Yeah, the movie memorabilia shit.
Yeah, and there's like a trolley thing that actually took you through the real studios and showed you where all these movies were made.
Here's where Back to the Future clock.
That was one. There's the old house from Psycho. The house on the hill.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that kind of shit's cool, and you get to see how fucking big the fucking the studios where they actually shoot the movies. It looks like a military installment, I bet, from the sky. They're like airplane hangars. They're humongous and just playing. Well, you see them, and sometimes in movies, you see them walking in the alleys. When they have like a 15-minute break. You know,
or like Entourage is all shot in that kind of shit.
It's wild how fucking big they are.
Yeah, it's a different world. It turns out. Turns out you and I in North Dakota don't really know that life.
One thing I got a kick out of is how they gave Maggie, because Maggie's been so good. We're gonna Maggie gets to pick the first ride, and they nailed like little kid rides where it's just something at a snail's pace with some repetitive song, and the kids are and then Maggie is just enthralled, they're like eyes wide, looking everywhere.
Maggie loves it, and the other kids hate it so much.
I was thinking like the county fair. It's 98 and muggy, and some poor meth heads running the lever on like the caterpillar like merry-go-round thing for like the 3 and under kids. Like, how do you stay awake? That's what the meth's for, I guess. Meth shouldn't be illegal if you're running that ride. You need it as a stimulant. Like
I still have trouble wrapping my head around a county fair having rides, but okay. Like I think the only ride I ever saw around our town in the county fair was like the 5 barrels that have a hole cut in them that the kids sit in, and then you pull it behind a lawnmower tractor or something. Yeah. I think that's as buck wild as the rides got where I come from.
The ride's name was Mr. Bug's Slow Crawl.
So good. I like just before this when they're getting into the park, the Maggie has her binky taken away and thrown in a bin that says unauthorized binkies, and they make Homer buy one or rent one. $25 an hour for a binky rental. I thought that was a lot of fun. There's a lot of jokes here, a lot of visual jokes, and like, everything is so expensive and everything's nothing but lines. That like I'm sure is funny to someone who's been to an amusement park.
And then there's a talk about the fast pass. That's the big thing to get at all those.
I've always heard that too. Like if you're not going to buy the fast pass, don't bother going. But doesn't that just mean that if everybody buys the fast pass, that there is no advantage?
One would think.
Like,
I think the people that don't are locals. That's like, okay, we'll save the money because we come here 3 times a summer. This isn't like a once in a lifetime trip for us.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's like how sometimes zoos in this area will have a cow, and you're like, why?
Yeah,
it's like, because someone from Fargo might come and they don't have cows here.
They've never seen one in real life.
Exactly.
I think too, I think locals, they'll wait for the weather to be bad, which is the irony of people thinking the weather's ever bad in Southern California.
Outside of hurricanes.
Well, California don't get no hurricanes.
Oh, right. I'm on the wrong coast.
But you're right about
I'm thinking of Disney World.
Disney World, yeah. But I was thinking California, like Disneyland, but if it's cloudy, the park is quieter.
It's insane that qualifies as, nope, better stay in.
Yeah. That's when the locals will go because the lines aren't as long. So they get off of Mr. Bug's slow crawl and they're jonesing for something fun. I don't know if it's Bart or Homer that discovers, I think it's Rocket to Your Doom.
Yeah.
It's like a building size where you got to go inside.
Yeah, it's brand new and there's no lines.
Yeah. So they get into it, they get strapped in, and turns out it's a fucking spaceship. They get launched into the atmosphere, and all of a sudden they're fucking doing interstellar travel.
Yep.
And we get a lot of fucking, hey, there's no gravity gags. And just
Homer trying to eat chips.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we get a music montage of that. And it turns out it's ran by Kang and Kodos. We get to see Kang and Kodos in a non-Treehouse episode, which is rare.
In a canon episode. Homer even says, wait, this isn't Halloween, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
But it's also what is happening right now?
I bet this episode drives fucking purists wild.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think it's addressed at the end of the episode too.
Yeah. They talk straight to the camera
about they'll get their brains wiped or something. Yeah. So they're getting flown to Regal 7. Would that be how you pronounce that?
I think it's Rigel.
Rigel. You're right. It's Rigel 7, the home planet of King and Kodos. After they land, King and Kodos give them a tour of the planet, and they just get to see all the weirdness of how Regal 7 operates. Get some good visuals, I guess. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. That's how I feel about this episode.
Yeah. They are then informed. This is where where the story really starts. They're informed that they will never leave because they're part of some kind of intergalactic zoo. That'd be a way to describe it.
Yeah, like an Earth zoo.
Yeah.
They show a cat, just a regular old cat.
Yeah.
And the Simpsons are their own display.
The Simpsons, they're in a house with glass walls.
Yeah.
Because we get a Lisa alien that befriends. Do you want a toy?
This is a fun gag.
Yeah. And it's a round rubber sphere. Thank you. Lisa tries to bounce it. It shatters. It's why would you do that? I thought it was a ball. It's everything but that.
It's the one thing it can't be.
Yeah. Good God.
It's so funny because to that alien, she just watched her take this gift and throw it on the ground. I liked that a lot, actually.
Oh, that was very good. And I don't know what you would describe the guy. He's some kind of zoo psychologist. That might not be the right word.
Sure.
Yeah.
He works here.
Yeah. And he's not just sweeping up shit.
Right.
Yeah. He's a doctor of some kind. He informs them that one of the family will be eaten. Well, shit, that's not good.
Yeah.
But hey, just to be fair, we'll let you guys choose. Which
he presents it as that's a privilege.
Right.
But good news, you guys get to pick.
So that's what they do, and it's 4-1 against Homer. Homer votes for Bart.
Yep.
He scratches it out once he sees he's going to lose. So Homer decides, okay, I guess this is. How did Maggie vote? She draw a picture of him.
Yeah, drew a picture of Homer.
Yeah. So Homer's going to do it. They wrap basically in a bacon mini dress,
like a grass skirt, but bacon. Yep.
Yeah. So Homer's going to be served up as some kind of sacrificial meal, but he's saved at the last second by, I think it's a transporter beam.
A tube. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting my science terms. Turns out he's been taken by some kind of alien resistance that doesn't believe in human sacrifice.
Hippies. They're
they're basically
hippies.
Extremist hippies.
Yeah.
And they let him sit back and tell them all the knowledge of Earth, which is just all fucking the garbage knowledge that talking about Burger King and shit.
He has a fucking whiteboard that's labeled human accomplishments.
Yeah.
And it's just this bullet pointed list. Free refills is on there twice.
Yeah.
And Grinder is on there. And then they kind of zoom in on him giving the last of his speech and him being and our greatest accomplishment is moon rocks.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, Homer. God damn it.
But they're enthralled. They don't know any better.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they inform Homer, hey, we're going to help you get off this planet. We've built an escape ship. And he's like, well, there's only room for one. It's like, well, you're the only one we got.
Yeah.
And Homer gives it some thought, and because I was like, Jesus Christ, Homer, you're going to take off without your goddamn family. But at the end, he decides, because cut to, they're back in the ceremonial sacrificial hall, something out of like Roman era, and all the family are on plates. Like, and I did like Homer bursting in like he's going to do something immediately on a plate.
Immediately.
Like there's not even a struggle. He's immediately overpowered and put on a plate. And they're serving to the queen, I think.
Yep.
And what is it? They take one of Homer's butt cheeks?
Yeah, a slice off of his ass that they took when he wasn't looking or something.
Most succulent. They're like, they think it looks great. Because Homer's probably the best edible. He's old, though.
He's dragging a wagon, though.
Yeah,
that's the part you take. Like, I've seen alive. That's the first part you eat, right? Calves and butts.
Yeah, calves, butts, and thighs, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
They decide to serve it to the queen because the queen is, she's the queen. She gets the best, most succulent cut.
Yeah.
And she takes a bite and immediately collapses. Her fucking line, his ass is most disagreeable.
Yeah.
That was good.
That's fun.
The Space Queen's fucking like a wreck. They find out, like, they do like a quick study of the meat. Is it just a shitty diet?
Yeah, humans are indigestible because of all the things they eat.
And then
They're poison.
And then Lisa's like, "Well, what about me? Like I'm probably worth eating." And they're like, "No, like actually,
what you eat turns into fucking poison and animal fat or something."
Yeah, right.
Like yeah.
The fucking queen dies from it. What was her like? Well, my last wish. My only regret is I didn't have bigger boobs. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
And Homer's like, "What do you mean? I don't see any boobs."
I think Bart. Yeah,
and she goes, "And that'll be the last thing I hear." And then dies.
That was good writing. I was fucking laughing during that. So disgusted, they just send the Simpsons back home and conveniently enough wipe their memories.
Yeah, and Kang or Kodos like looks right down the barrel of the camera and goes, "And your memories will be wiped."
Yeah.
So it'll be as if this never happened. Like as he's staring right down the camera.
That's good. I did like when they're flying back. Somehow fucking Grandpa contacts them on the big screen.
Yep.
Like he's missing his pills or something like that.
And they decide to fly away instead of go home because God forbid you go visit Abe.
Yeah. So it's like, like the Simpsons, where are they at right now? Like, this has to really piss off the purists. Like, you know what? I didn't fucking mind it.
If you put it down to black or white and put a gun to my head, I'll give it a thumbs down. But for the most part, like, it was fine. And I honestly get a bit of a rise out of the fact that I bet Simpsons fans hate this.
I thought it was weird to see Kang and Kodos without helmets.
Yeah, when they're on their home planet, they don't have to wear the fish bowls. Yeah. Yeah, overall, not really my thing. I didn't get anything out of the amusement park gags, really, outside of the kids' ride and the fucking Binky rental.
Yeah.
There's an insane, I couldn't fucking believe it's even in here. There's a fucking wild reference to The Matrix Reloaded when the fucking hippie aliens bust Homer out of there and they're in the underground bunker and they're like, "You're just in time for the underground resistance party." That's the Zion dance scene.
Is it? Yeah.
From fucking Matrix Reloaded, which is like, that came out fucking 15 years before this aired. Who decided we needed this weird reference? Because there's music playing and the aliens are all grinding on each other and it does like close-ups of the feet dancing and shit. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This is the least timely reference they've ever made.
They do that occasionally. Way after
Maybe
the fact.
that's part of the charm, I guess. Like, and then there's that fucking Rocky the Flying Squirrel reference earlier when he's in space with those two aliens from the cartoon, and he just explodes. Yeah, it was. I think this is a real fucking scattershot episode, really all over the place. But at the end of the day, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Totally fine. Let's see about the next one, episode 11, which is Bart's New Friend. Right away, Homer, I immediately was like, I like this. Homer just makes up a song about walking down the hallway and sings it while he's walking down the hallway all happy. And I'm like, you know what? Homer's a guy that enjoys life.
Yep, he truly does.
Yeah, Homer's a dude who can really make his own entertainment.
Homer could be Al Bundy. He'd be miserable. He could Marge is a pretty good wife, so
right.
Peggy's not.
But like Homer could be. He could be an
far more dour.
Fucking grump.
Yep, he could.
But no, just that. Oh, I'm walking down the corridor. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
He comes upon a retirement party for Don, who is retiring, a character we've never met before, but we learn is the whole reason Homer has a job.
This is such a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Homer's got away with this for so long.
For 26 seasons. Don explains that, like, because Homer asks, like, well, what do you do? He's like, I'm a safety inspector in Sector 7. And Homer's like, but that's what I do. And Don's like, yeah, there's two of us.
Yeah.
And I've been bailing you out and covering your ass this whole time, which I thought was very funny.
That's a great idea.
Like, that's a really great idea for a joke. So Homer now very worried because he didn't know he had a safety blanket and now immediately doesn't have it.
Has to look through all these binders to figure shit out. There's a good scene where he's frantically has a stack of binders.
I like how serious Homer is all of a sudden. Like he's at the fucking kitchen table going through all these books. Like, oh my God, I got to know all this shit because now Don's gone. I didn't even know Don existed.
This is a very good idea.
While he's studying in his little cubicle workspace thing, fucking Lenny and Carl come in and they're dicking around at work, and what they want to do is, we're trying to see if we can escape the bathroom without setting off the auto flush on the toilet. I like that that's a game to play at work. And we see Lenny come flying out of the bathroom door real quick, and then you hear the toilet flush behind him. He's like, God damn it. I think that's very funny. That's a fun, how can we have these guys wasting their time at work? And that's a good one of those. Homer goes to he's going through all these books. He's all worried about fucking work stress, and Marge is like, you gotta fucking not be so stressed out. Decides the way to alleviate stress is to go to the circus. That's not. There's too much going on at the circus.
There's a lot going on at the
Too
circus.
much stimulation.
Yeah.
So they go to the circus. Homer ends up punching a fucking clown, which is. Like, the clown's, like, giving him shit because he's leaving his seat and sprays him with seltzer water or whatever, and Homer just fucking decks this clown, which is fun.
Yeah.
Ends up going over to a hypnotist booth. I forget what Homer's, like, waiting for, and Bart convinces him, like, well, in the meantime, can we at least see a thing?
Yeah.
So goes into a hypnotist booth where we meet Sven Golly, which is a great circus name. I'm very into it. Bart's like, let's go check this out. And Homer goes, I'll be amazed if I'm astounded, which is such a good sentence.
Yeah.
That's such a good line. You ever been to any kind of hypnotist or comedy hypnotist or any manner of work party or post-prom with a hypnotist?
Post-prom and a Vika.
A what?
That was vocational something America, like a high school club.
Okay.
For like trades. And there was a hypnotist. I was like, I remember like really, I wonder if a guy can get hypnotized. I'm really like, I remember kind of feeling kind of fucking, oh man, maybe it's working. But then the kid next to me was so fucking hypnotized, he like fell into my lap and knocked. Was like, hey homie, you got to sit up on your own, bro. This is weird. He was fucking out of it. Like, I never got entranced.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Have you been hypnotized?
No, God no. I've only been to one event. I think it was an FFA convention where they had like some manner of fucking hypnotist after the meal, and I don't know. Like, it was all very G-rated. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it'd be fun to go one of these fucking hard R-rated hypnotists.
There's a guy in Fargo that books comedy occasionally, and he is a traveling comedy hypnotist.
What a life.
Yeah.
What a path in life.
Yeah.
I know like a friend of a friend who's a comedy hypnotist, and like all of his like you got to book him for post prom fucking 2 years ahead of time.
Ain't that something?
It's insane. Yeah, I don't know. I would give it a whirl. Being
a comedy hypnotist is something that's handed down through your family. Like your father made shoes, you will make shoes. Your son will make shoes.
Yep.
Your father was a comedy hypnotist. You're going to be like his apprentice.
What do you get? The blazer and the pocket watch?
Yeah, the scarf.
I imagine it's hypnotists who are exclusively keeping pocket watch makers in business. So Homer goes up there and gets hypnotized, and the Svengali, I'm going to say that guy's name every chance I get. Svengali turns Homer into a 10-year-old. He's just like, when I fucking snap my fingers or whatever, you're going to be 10 years old. So he snaps his fingers, and Homer is 10. And we illustrate this by him being fucking insufferable.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
So Homer's 10 years old, and the fucking cops come running in, and this exchange...
Oh, my God.
Wiggum comes running in with his gun out and tells Svengali, you're under arrest for hypnotizing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to allow Kiss in. And what does he say? We're here from orders by the police, but then he's like, by which I mean Sting and like
Stuart Copeland.
Like the fact that that's why they're here. I don't think Kiss is in the Hall of Fame yet.
Oh, really?
They ought to be.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Pretty big part of pop culture.
Yeah. Fucking Eminem is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Kiss. That ain't right.
Ridiculous.
Like we've talked about before. I get it if you don't like him.
Yeah, pretty unlikable, especially Gene Simmons.
Oh, especially Gene. Paul seems okay. So now the Svengali is on the run. He hypnotizes Wiggum and takes off. So now we got no way to get normal Homer back. And it's like, okay, so now we have Homer stuck as a 10-year-old. He's got to sleep with Bart, can't sleep with Marge. And I did like the joke of Marge laying in bed and she can't sleep, but she's like, I wish Homer was here. But I guess I'll have to do this myself. And like opens up the nightstand and takes out this
narrow box.
It reaches into it and it holds for just a second. And then she pulls out knitting needles and like starts making a fucking mittens or something. I thought that was a fun joke. I'm like, I don't think anybody puts it in a box, do they? I think they just throw it in the
ornate.
Drawer. God damn. So Homer is then at school and playing with the kids and I didn't like this fucking episode. You get like Skinner and Chalmers. You get the jokes of like, I don't know that a grown man should be playing with children. You know, like a lot of those jokes.
I like the reoccurring gag in this episode of Skinner drawing that comic strip with him and Chalmers.
The Grumbler and the Bumbler.
Yeah, God, that cracked me up.
Yeah. Bart finds out one night that Homer is not happy with his life because he gets a little honesty since Homer thinks he's 10. He can say things like, oh, if I ever had some dead-end job and a wife and kids, I would pretend to be happy, I guess, but I'd really hate it. So Bart's like, oh, cool.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You know? He plays saxophone with Lisa in a fun little moment. What is that?
Baker Street.
Thank you. And who sings it?
George Rafferty.
Thank you. Like I know that everyone knows that saxophone lick, but I don't.
A good song.
It makes for a tough song to Google if you don't know what song that is.
Yeah, I think Baker Street's mentioned right away, but never again.
I don't even know what the rest of the song sounds like.
I don't think there's a chorus that's words. I think that sax is the chorus.
But I can't think of verses. I cannot think of how any other part of that song goes other than the saxophone part.
The song is about someone moving to a big city to follow their dreams and the big city just eating them up and it not working out.
Okay. That's the vibe that song gives off.
It's an unhappy song. It's sad. Yeah.
That song is so good.
Yeah.
Or that part of it. So Homer's like Lisa's enjoying this, and Bart, found out this new truth and doesn't really care for it. But in the meantime, the cops find Svengali, and they're going to take him back and make him change Homer. But Bart is like not ready for that yet. Bart's not ready he's not ready for Homer to be an adult again. Because he's like his brother at this point. Yeah. So he takes him to Itchy and Scratchy Land, 2 episodes with amusement parks right out of the gate. Eventually the cops catch up, and they make Svengali change Homer back, and everyone's happy again. Everything's back to normal. And then we get the little addendum scene of Svengali escaping from Magneto's prison, which is fun because he's like hypnotized Wiggum to think that he is Svengali and he is Wiggum. So you have Wiggum like losing at chess, and then Svengali leaving and him being like, that's stupid, Wiggum. Good thing I'm Svengali.
Yeah. Good call. That is Magneto's prison. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's Magneto's prison from X-Men 2. Yeah. The plastic underground prison.
I actually really enjoyed this episode.
Really?
I thought it was sweet.
There was something about something about childish Homer I really hated. Like, I had a tough time with this episode. I had a tough time with both of these episodes so far.
The laughs were meh, but I just thought it was it was just nice. Like they did a good job of building like a relationship between Kid Homer and Bart.
Yeah, and like, I get that, but I didn't like that at all. I was like, and it just felt like, what are all of the obvious jokes we can make? Okay, look at how uncomfortable Bart is because he has to share a bed with Big Homer. Yeah. Or look how uncomfortable the principal and the superintendent are that this grown man is playing with children.
And yet, why don't they take him out of the school immediately?
Right. Like, I don't know. I didn't care for it. I don't like kids, so I don't like when adults act like kids either.
That's just more kids,
I guess. Yeah. I don't. I feel like I don't have a good reason, but I didn't like it at all. I feel like we wasted a really good idea of Don's retirement on this episode.
The Don's part was fucking great.
Yeah.
So look at this, two in a row where I'm higher on him than you are.
Yeah, weird.
Look at me, fucking.
I think we came out of last week with you being higher on shit than me too.
Yeah, look at me walking on sunshine over here.
I gotta get a B12 shot or something. Pep me up a little. Fucking Captain Grump over here.
Well, let's see if episode 12 tickles Marlon's pickle. It's the Musk who fell to Earth. Am I doing that? Yeah, the Musk. Oh, you want to talk about an episode I don't fucking like? This one. Let's get that out of the way.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Okay.
Not the first few minutes of this one are fucking bedlam. A goddamn bald eagle. It's like terrorizing this. What a fucking incredible thing to have happen to your family and in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Like, this is bald eagle killing all the goddamn fucking little woodland creatures and tries to take Maggie.
Lisa's so happy that birds are visiting her birdhouse, and that thing fucking scoops them up and drops the skeleton. On Lisa. That is a metal eagle. Yeah.
Oh my God. So the fact that it's not going away, that it's like terrorizing them is so good to the point they have to make an elaborate trap for it. Using the board game mousetrap.
Yep.
That was a nice use. By getting the bird to come in through a bedroom window.
To scoop up the mouse before the trap falls on it. Yep.
Ever did you own Mousetrap?
No, but my grandma and grandpa.
Oh, very progressive for rural North Dakota.
Extremely progressive for cowboy country. No, just grandma and grandpa, not my two grandpas.
Yeah. Them just sitting casually on the couch, one hand in each other's pants as you open Christmas presents, blissfully unaware.
Listen, we all support you, but this is filth.
Yeah, like, you're giving each other hand jobs right now.
Kids here. Yeah. Watching Wheel of Fortune cuddled up under an Afghan.
Yeah. And you get popcorn. No, you get popcorn.
See, I think that's delightful once we get away from the Christmas morning handies.
Tuggers.
My grandma and grandpa had the Mousetrap board game, and never once have I ever played it, but I did set it up and set it off a couple of times. I remember there were a couple of pieces missing, so you had like homemade pieces. Like, this clearly isn't the ball that came with the board, but like, this is what you found. Or like, oh, this has a button glued to the side so it'll go off right. You know, there was a little gum and a prayer holding that thing together.
I bet fucking the Mousetrap game's life expectancy was brutally short.
Yeah, no kidding. You're going to give that to children?
It's a 6-year-olds. Yeah, like that's just a bag full of choking hazards for a 3-year-old. Like,
oh, good metal album name. I think we never played it, but we set it up and did it is 100% of
how people played that game.
Mousetrap. Yeah.
I don't even know how the game works.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah.
It's got pieces and a mouse.
There's a board.
I don't know.
Yeah. And does Homer catch the eagle in a garbage bag?
Yep, in a fucking black trash bag.
Fucking fight that thing's putting up. And finally Homer gets it, fucking overpowered in the bag. And he's like, it's going to be real sad, but I got to swing you against the wall and break all your bones.
That's... You know what? If you were trying to kill something that was thrashing around in a trash bag, that's how you would do it.
Yep. You do a couple spins to gain momentum. On that third one, you really put your back into it, hit that tree or whatever you're swinging it against.
If you really got the space to work with, I think you're going hammer throw style with planted feet and getting your centrifugal force going. I mean, fucking, it's good enough for Jason Voorhees. He killed that one. Is it a lady that he ties up in a sleeping bag and slams against a tree?
Brutal. Holy shit.
Fuck yeah,
that was in that remake, right?
I think that's in 10, and it ends up being a hologram because they kind of trap Jason in the holodeck on the spaceship, because 10 is Jason in space.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of different. Yeah. Okay.
And that maybe it's from an earlier one and they recreated it there, but that's definitely where I saw it, I think, is 10.
Okay. Yeah. I never saw 10. Is insane. Like
10's great. It's like good bad. 10 is good bad.
Yeah. Like, I remember looking at it, it's like, this movie went to theaters. It looks like it was shot on like home video, like
on a very early cell phone.
Yeah. Everything feels cheap. You don't recognize any of the actors.
That weird metal mask.
God, the metal. Yeah.
Ugh.
I need to rewatch that now.
Yeah.
The more I think about it.
Absolutely.
Lisa, of course, convinces them to nurse the eagle back to health, which they do. And man, I fucking did crack up when it's flying off. It's ready to go, and it gets fucking vaporized by like the rocket exhaust from Elon Musk's rocket, which lands in the Simpsons' backyard. Oh boy, the public opinion of Elon Musk has sure changed.
Isn't this an insane time capsule of an episode?
Because this is just sucking Elon Musk's dick the whole fucking time.
Remember what we used to think of Elon Musk?
I used to fucking think he was the coolest. Like, look at this guy fucking making all this space age technology to improve the world.
Yep. Look at him. He's going to save us all. He's real life Tony Stark. Elon Musk is here, everybody.
All that good fucking public opinion just flushed down the toilet.
And it was less than a week ago, between the last time you heard from us and today, that he came out and said Hyperloop was never real. He just wanted to kill all of California's, like, we're going to make a railroad or make a train system. That was less than a week ago he came out and said that.
No shit.
Oh, yeah, that was never real. I just wanted to shut down all that train talk.
No kidding.
Isn't that bonkers?
What
That's so Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
That's fucking Lex Luthor shit.
Yeah, we thought he was Tony Stark, but it turns out he's
a super
Lex
villain.
Luthor.
Yeah.
Fuck that fucking clown. This, as soon as he stepped off the thing, I was like, I bet we really fucking nut ride him. I bet we really dick ride Elon Musk throughout this episode. And we do.
Yep. So, like, he's apparently just, like, kind of in a malaise. He's kind of fed up with his life.
Yeah.
And decides to just do something different. And fucking just ends. It just, none of it makes sense. Homer ends up taking Musk to go check out the power plant. Lisa, of course, tags along because she's in love with Elon Musk. And then on the drive, Homer just prattles off some dumb shit like he does, just talking nonsense. Yeah. And Elon Musk is like writing it all down, like it all, and it's like twisting the words to make it seem like it's like cutting edge ideas and shit.
Yeah, and I feel like this joke has been done in other things
it's so
better.
Forced.
Like someone says a throwaway thing, and then the other person connects dots that don't exist until they get to the answer.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this joke's been done elsewhere, but it's fine, I guess.
While at the power plant, Musk puts something in the suggestion box, like, because everyone else is just like, like free donuts, this and that.
Yeah.
Or just like, screw you, Burns. But then like he writes this real detailed idea out. Because they're like, yeah, like anyone even reads these anyhow. And it cuts to Burns. This was kind of funny. Just painstakingly reading everyone at his desk.
Yep.
Which I got a kick out of that.
And like notating, like, okay, mark this one down. Like he's numbered them all. He's got Smithers there. I like that he pulls the one out and it just says, go to hell, Burns. And just without even breaking stride, he just goes, technically a command, and sets it aside. Right. Like not a suggestion, technically a command.
So Burns enjoys, or was just so intrigued that he decides, God damn it, I'm going to take all of Musk's ideas. They make a big public announcement that Burns is going to make all the changes that Musk recommends to the power plant to make it more efficient and more eco-friendly.
I'll give him this. We do occasionally take tiny little jabs at Musk, but we don't. It is a lot of nut hugging the whole time. But we do get, and I don't even know if it's here or earlier or later, but like at one point he says something along the lines of like, I'm just trying to make the world better and I get to decide. Like he just little things like that it's like, okay, maybe he gets it a little bit or did. Like now he's just a fucking asshole. But
oh, it's Smithers. Smithers is skeptical, which I thought that was a nice touch too. It's like, I like that Smithers smells something like,
Yeah, my note says Smithers, sus of Musk.
I see what you did.
That's fun. I had a little fun there. I put a little joke in my note.
Tee-hee. Is this the fucking time when the hounds get set on him? Or no, he comes back into Burns' bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Mr. Burns, like, the fucking dogs fuck him off.
Smithers is almost murdered by these dogs.
What a way to go. Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Hounds.
Yeah, and then, I don't know. I think it's at like another one of those public announcements is when Burns finds out this is costing him, is it $50 million a month?
A quarter, yeah.
A quarter, yeah. Holy fuck. He went from so excited about this to so fuck like, what? Yep, $50 million a quarter. You're right. Which, because of this, Burns has to lay off a ton of the power plant staff. And that's also, it's right after that Burns lets Smithers know he's going to fucking assassinate Musk.
Well, Smithers is all laid up in that hospital bed.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry about this and that and the hounds. Oh, and I'm sorry I couldn't find their vaccination record, so you had to get all those painful injections in your abdomen.
In your abdomen, it's so specific.
Yeah, because that's rabies. Rabies shots all... I wonder if that's still the case. Traditionally, rabies shots were a series of 41 injections in your abdomen or something like that, and were always talked about as being like, some
insanely.
of the worst shit that you don't want to go through.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's been improved upon.
I wonder.
I would hope so.
Yeah, but they probably don't got to spend a lot of money on that, because how many rabies shots they giving out in a year?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I've never known anybody with rabies.
Man, as a kid, I always knew, like, you always keep an eye out for like a skunk, because they're prone to rabies.
A skunk or a coon or a badger, maybe.
Yeah. Only once in my life I've ever seen anything up close that had rabies, and it was a skunk.
Oh, I never did, I don't think. I don't think I've ever seen anything with rabies.
True to form, that skunk, bumbling and stumbling, did make a run at us. We were on bike, so it's like, ooh. But it was weird, like, ride your bike, and then, like, looking down the prairie trail, like, the fucking skunk is still meandering towards us.
Yeah, because they're, like, insane. Rabies, like, attacks the brain.
After a while.
In a way, yeah.
Yep. Which I don't think happens to humans. I think you're bedridden.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. You man, you want to talk about metal? There's like a 1950s era black and white video, like somewhere in the Middle East, of like time-lapse photography of some man dying of rabies.
Jesus.
It shows each phase of it. You hit a phase where you can't swallow. You fucking look at this.
So you just drool?
Yeah, you just drool. So that's what the foaming is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking rough to watch. It's an agonizing way to die.
Why would you watch something like that? Well, I guess academically, medically, scientifically, I am not someone who would get anything from that, but I shouldn't jump on you for it.
Yeah, some of us have a scientific mind. We want to learn more,
and I do not. I'm an English and history boy.
You're happy to not. Yeah. I'm just not going to get rabies.
Yeah, I'm just. How about that?
I'm going to stay away from skunks. And
I'm just going to avoid badgers, which is something you should do anyway, because a badger is a fucking fuzzy rock with teeth.
Yeah, I just watched a video of a guy, like some farm kid, just grabbing a badger by the scruff of his neck and holding it up. That thing, if he gave it any leeway, was this close to ripping his...
Is that the one where they flushed it out with the hose?
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
And immediately was like, nope, I don't need to finish watching this.
Jesus, badgers are mean.
Yeah, they're fucking... And they're solid. They're just a piece of muscle. Like a badger is so dense and so heavy.
Too, like, they're flat and wide.
Yep, flat and wide and full of teeth. It's just a thing of teeth.
They're very angry. They growl a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of snarling.
It's like a slab of square hay bale. You know how when you cut the twines, they kind of it comes out and like, slices like a
butter.
bread loaf.
Yeah, like little pats of butter.
Yeah. Covered in hair and full of knives. Yeah. Fuck badgers.
One thing I like that Burns' fucking hit squad are all elderly, like all elderly marksmen.
It's an elderly mob guy, an elderly Civil War guy, and an elderly World War I guy, all with guns.
Like with the doughboy helmet on.
That's his fucking hit squad.
And I mean, they try to take him out, but of course they fuck up and Musk survives. It's during this time Homer has to break it to Musk that he no longer wants to be friends with him because everyone's laid off, everyone's bummer, no one's enjoying Musk. He lets him know. He finally just he's honest with him, and Musk accepts it and just decides he's going to leave town. And Lisa tries to leave with him, which of course she does.
She stows away, yeah.
I think it's around this time Homer says, when you turn 16, I'll drive you to Cincinnati. Then you'll see what there is to see.
Yeah, you'll see all there is to see. Yeah.
God damn it. Why? That's a good line. Like, why Cincinnati?
That's a fun joke. Yeah, all you need to see is in Cincinnati.
I mean, that should be like a coming of age thing. When you turn 16, one parent alone, just the two of you, drives you to Cincinnati, gives you an afternoon to walk downtown, and then pick you up for dinner.
It's like what the Amish do when they turn
like
14 or whatever
it's called.
Yeah, that sounds right. Rumspringa. I was going to say rum caca, and I don't think that's a real thing. I think I am just thinking of rum cake.
Yeah, which is an hourly occurrence. It's
At
more
least.
than one wants. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's always without a reaching distance. What's going on over there?
Thinking about rum cake. I don't even know that rum cake is a thing.
Yeah, right?
Probably is. Somewhere out there, there's
Someone's
a recipe.
figured it out.
There's a cookbook with a rum cake recipe.
So Lisa doesn't get to go with, Musk is off, and Jesus, this was a shit episode. That's I don't have any fun joke. Mine just says shit episode.
I came out of it not super hating it, but I did I kind of liked it just in an academic sense of look what we used to think of this guy, you know, and. I was so hyper focused in on, are we gonna take the piss out of him a little bit at all? And there are just a couple of tiny ones, but not for the most part. It is a lot of
butt smooching.
It is a lot of hero worship all the way through this fucking thing. There's a handful of things though that I got some enjoyment out of. That fucking once Musk takes over and we start getting scenes of their cars and stuff like that. That insane news report when Kent Brockman comes on screen and goes, "Big news for Little Rascals fans! The last one is dead in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or whatever." Holy shit! That's how you would report somebody's death. And his tone changes because he's so big news for Little Rascal fans. The final one has passed away in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Holy shit!
There's a Jesus, this is going back. But last episode, I don't know if I ever comment on it. There's a good one where he goes, it's about baseball. Bad news, Bears. The weather calls for rain. That's a good wordplay too.
We also get, for the first time in 20 fucking years, an extended look at Arnie Pie, Eye in the Sky, in this episode.
You're right, yeah.
Because he has an Elon Musk self-flying helicopter, so he can get as loaded as he wants, which is a bunch, and he's just pulling fucking whiskey out of the bottle.
That was good.
And then a couple of quick little references. I like that they play Starman at the end of the episode because that song fucking rules.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that Elon Musk has co-opted that song for himself. Like, that's the song that his Roadster was playing.
Oh, really?
When he put his Roadster in space with a little spaceman in it.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, but I do love that song. And as he's flying in his spaceship, on the screen you see what looks like the Simpson house and like a couple people walking along. Mm-hmm. And I was like, because I've played it, so I know that screen. You can see the icons and everything. That is Simpsons Tapped Out, a phone game, like a town building phone game of the Simpsons. I noticed the icons in the corner and stuff. I was like, that's funny. That's Tapped Out.
Now it's bugging me. Some of the Little Rascals are probably still alive.
There's no way.
I think they made that well into the 30s. So that means some of those kids were born in 1930, 25. I mean, there were a lot of Little Rascals besides the big hitters.
Sure,
There was like a heartbreaking Little Rascals factory in New Jersey. You know, once your nuts drop, they just fucking kick you off the set.
Yeah, they were. Are you saying the Little Rascals are like Warrant? There's not a lot of original members left.
Yeah,
maybe none.
Yeah.
But
God, I love a band that has one original member.
I feel like every band that you see at the state fairs only has one left.
I know that the version of CCR, that's Creedence Clearwater Revisited, they've been down to like the touring keyboardist.
And they're CCR, but without John Fogerty, right?
That's what Revisited is. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the thing his brother started.
Okay.
So that he could play shit live. But that brother's long dead too now. Like,
yeah, I've never quite been clear on the Fogerty CCR.
Yeah.
Like, I would watch that behind the music today to find out what the hell happened there.
Yeah, that was a bad fallout with the manager. His brother sided with the manager, and Fogerty hated the manager. It wasn't because of like all the contracts were signed. He couldn't play his own songs for like a decade. Like, that's what a weird fucking twist in your career. Like,
and I don't think I like any Fogerty solo stuff. Like,
all I know is Center Field.
Center Field sucks. Oh my God, I
don't
hate
mind
that song. It's so corny.
Yeah.
Like, that song could play over the Little Rascals. That's where it looks like that song should
play
exist.
in a baseball montage from a Little Rascals episode.
Oh my God, I hate that song. I bet he has fucking paid off a house on that song's residuals.
Oh, good call. That does get put in a lot of movies.
Everything that has anything to do with baseball has Center Field in it. But man, do I hate that song.
Perhaps his only solo hit.
Man, I feel like we're forgetting one, but I couldn't tell you what it is. But man,
by far his biggest solo.
Oh
hit.
yeah, I hear that song come on, I just fucking stand in the kitchen and slam my balls in the fridge. I hate it.
So much I like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're up to episode 13, Walking Big and Tall. Get it?
Mm-hmm. I see what they did there.
It's like that movie.
Yeah, and also like the store for husky and tall gentlemen.
Exactly.
I was in Big and Tall buying some slacks not one day ago.
Oh yeah.
And usually it's just bigs, a lot of bigs. There was a tall motherfucker, must have been 6'9".
No kidding.
Just a string bean, 6'9", dude. Like, I never thought of that. Like, this place is also for you.
Yeah.
You know,
we both belong here, tall man.
Get them 38-inch inseam jeans, buddy. You've earned it. Like,
was he skinny?
Oh, very skinny.
Oh, I love skinny and tall. That's such a fun That's a fun vibe to me.
You know, I've seen skinnier, but not chubby at all. Like,
okay.
Probably a goddamn handful if he's mad at you. That kind of big. Okay. Yeah, like.
That's a different thing. Then.
Yeah.
I like super ultra skinny.
A lot of Adam's apple.
Oh my God, just a huge pointed Adam's apple. Like, why is it square? Okay. Like, fucking just look like you made a human out of horse legs.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I love that.
Big baby moose.
Yeah. Huge knuckles.
Yeah.
Like,
knock-kneed.
Every joint too big.
Yeah. Are the joints too big or the limbs too small? It's one of the two.
It could be both, yeah. But the effect, anyway, is like knuckles the size of wrists, elbows the size of hips.
Plum knuckles.
Yeah, just a stack of fucking chicken wings.
Like a Connects human built out of celery sticks and plums. Like a weird ass art exhibit.
Come on over here, Bionicle. Let's take a fucking picture.
Name's Dennis. No one cares.
No one cares, Dennis. You are a giraffe person, and I am here to take a photo of you.
I'm here to make a spectacle of you.
Love it. Love it. We start off 30 years ago in a town hall meeting with Mayor Hans Moleman.
It goes downhill from here.
We start hot though.
Yeah. What he looks like with that little mustache.
Yeah, that little pencil thin mustache.
Real charismatic.
Like, it's still clearly him. You can still see him in there. But young Hans Moleman made me feel away.
Yep. There's some great pause your fucking divisive choice and look at the crowd moments.
Oh, okay.
You can see some weird time lapse. You see like 8-year-old comic book guy, teenage comic book guy, and like 20-year-old comic book guy. And now it was weird. Because there's a lot of it's like, wait a second. There's little kid Brockman, college age Brockman, and now Brockman. A lot of fucking fun, that kind of shit.
Yeah, because we go through a time lapse to the present as they sing this song, this Springfield anthem that they're all singing along, and then it's a shot of the crowd getting progressively older until we get to modern day. The only thing I noticed that I thought was like, that's a fun joke. Krusty is sitting in the front row, and you can kind of tell by everyone's clothes what era we're in. Yeah. At one point, he is wearing the bright red leather Eddie Murphy outfit. Like, that's funny.
And if you look at the first one, he's a little boy.
And his dad's
with him. Yeah. Which makes no sense.
Dad, like, fucking threw him disowned him.
If he's a little boy, why the fuck is comic book guy even alive?
Yeah.
Because comic book, what's his name? Krusty's supposed to be at least 30 years older than comic book guy.
Yeah. You can't.
Things are weird in Springfield.
You can't dig into this too much. Also, like, by the time he's wearing that Eddie Murphy suit, it's like, let's say 20 years ago, which would make this like 1996.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Like, time doesn't work the way it should on The Simpsons. So we get to present day, and Mo comes storming in all out of breath and runs on stage and tells them that he just came back from Tuscaloosa and their anthem is the same anthem.
That's good.
He plays a quick video of it, and then we get video of like, every town has this same fucking anthem, and they all turn on Hans Moleman because he had said 30 years ago, back when he was mayor, that he had written the song. And he's just like, now he's the Hans Moleman we know. Yeah. And he's just like, I never thought you would find out, but I bought it from a guy selling theme songs. And as punishment, we blindfold and hogtie Hans Moleman, put him on a horse and just slap it on the ass and send him out into the desert. The desert that Springfield has.
They got whatever you need.
And they decide, we're gonna make our own song, and Pharrell is there. There's a quick Pharrell joke. Who voices himself. He has like 2 lines of dialogue, but voices himself. And I'm like, okay, this puts this at what time we're at. You know, back when Happy was the biggest fucking song in the world.
Oh, good call. Yeah,
that's about when Pharrell showed up with that silly hat.
Yep. Hell of a song. I mean, it's overplayed by now, but that is a catchy fucking song.
I wonder if we've gotten to the point where we're far enough away from it now to where if it came on, you'd be like, ooh, okay.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't think I listened to enough pop radio for songs of that era to ever get overplayed.
Yeah, at that time, I was working in the strip club, so I heard all the fucking pop songs.
Oh, yeah.
But not a lot. I didn't play Happy at the titty bar a whole bunch.
Yeah, no one's clapping cheeks to Happy.
I bet I played it here and there, but no.
Yeah.
Not a bunch. So he volunteers, but I like that they're like, they kind of hate him. They're immediately like, absolutely not. And then we see him getting sent off on a horse out into the desert as well. So Bart and Lisa are going to write the new anthem for Springfield, and we get this insane joke about the Michael Jackson episode.
Oh, I didn't put two and two together. You're totally right, though.
They're sitting in the living room talking, and Bart's just like, I can't believe it would be this hard to write a hit song. And Lisa's like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm going to get the gist of it. She's like, yeah, especially like, that time when you were spending time with that crazy homeless person who claimed to be Michael Jackson, like they're retconning it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I mean, we would, of course, never do something like that. Why would we have Michael Jackson sleep in the same bed with me? And then real quick, Homer just like passes in the background and just goes, different time, and that's it. And then they move on from it.
How did I not catch that?
How did you not catch that? It's like my favorite part of this whole episode. Because I've still never seen that episode.
We should try to dig it up.
Should try to find it, yeah. But yeah, Homer walks by just like, oh, it was a different time, and they move on. I love that they take a moment to like retcon and explain themselves about the Michael Jackson episode, which was from season like three
or four.
Yeah, that 20 fucking seasons ago, and they're like, hang on, let us address this. I love that now canonically that was not Michael Jackson. It was a homeless person who thought he was Michael Jackson, and it was a different time.
Yeah.
So Lisa and Bart are at it. They're trying to write a song, and they do, and they debut it at the theater, I guess. Yeah, at some manner of theater. Yeah. Homer crams himself into theater seats. Brother, fucking fist up in solidarity.
Yep.
Be obese and go to a theater.
Yeah.
Like, not a movie theater where
a rump horn to get himself into it.
Yeah, he's got a rump horn. It's just a big shoehorn to cram himself into the theater seat. I love the Fargo Theater, the historic Fargo Theater here in town. It is a miserable existence to go to anything there.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a long time. I bet it's been 6 or 8 years since I've been at the Fargo Theater.
I went to movies there probably 5-6 times a year.
I think going to a movie there sucks because you're spoiled by modern movie theaters with enormous curved screens and like peak fucking sound systems. Like the last time I went to the Fargo Theater and saw a movie was, do you remember when Iron Man 2 came out, Marcus Theaters worldwide wouldn't show it because there was some kind of
contractual
dispute. So the kitschy little historic theater in town showed the big Marvel movie of the summer.
I forgot about it. It was the exact same thing with Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
For some reason, Marcus must not have thought that was going to pop. So they just ignored it. And like, oh, fuck, this is going to be big. We need to catch it quick. And best movie experience of my life was seeing Paranormal Activity with a literally sold out, every seat's filled crowd at the Fargo Theater.
Yeah, I've been to comedians and that kind of thing there. Maybe one of my best experiences there, I'm going to butcher the man's name. I saw Ed Kowalczyk
of Live.
For the, is it 20th or 30th, whatever anniversary of the Throwing Copper album.
That'd be 20th, yeah.
He played the entire Throwing Copper album acoustically, just him on a stool with a guitar, and he did all of Throwing Copper, and it was amazing.
I remember when that came to town.
Oh my God, that was super cool. But I've seen like Brian Regan there. When I was in college, I saw Larry the fucking Cable Guy there.
Before he was big enough to play the fucking Fargo Dome.
Yeah, he would play the Fargo Dome if he came to town now. Yeah. Puddle's Pity Party. I've been to a lot of fun shows.
You've done things
at the Fargo Theater, and I've hated the chairs every time.
When I'm not peak butter chunks, the seats don't bug me that much.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you and I are comparable size, and like I hate them every time.
Oh, yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean, the upper level, that balcony, I couldn't ever. If I was skinny, I couldn't sit up there. They're not meant for anyone over 5'10".
Yeah, that's the thing.
Those are built for 1920s humans.
Yeah. You get into the balcony, it becomes about height because the seats are so close.
I remember when I looked at that, it's like, how can this be?
Yeah.
Like, to the point, I think now, if you're ordering concert tickets, there's like a disclaimer. Hey, don't get these if you're like, I don't know what they put, maybe 6. I even think saying 6 foot tall is like pushing it. Like, I think you'd be pretty fucking uncomfortable if you were 6 foot tall in those chairs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 6 foot on the nose, and I hate it up there. But
I mean, I literally can't sit up there. It's like, okay, do I lie across 7?
Yes, yep.
Like,
on your side, seductively.
Just digging the fucking armrest digging into my body. Like,
yeah, you lay sideways like when we're taking a fun picture of the band.
Like everyone's holding you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I guess this won't be so bad for a 2-hour concert.
I hate this.
My bones hurt.
Oh, my bones.
That's you never want bones plural to hurt.
Yeah. So they debut a new song, a new Springfield anthem, and which is kind of fun. Like it starts off being like listing a bunch of shitty things about Springfield, and the audience is like, "Wait a minute!" Yeah. But then they're like, I think it's even called Springfield Why Not?
Yep. Yeah.
Which is fun. They're just like, it's fine. Like, look, we got a lot of shit wrong, but some things are okay. And why not?
Is it during the montage of the song where we get footage of Grandpa feeding Maggie out of a jar that says baby's first peaches?
I don't remember if that's here, but yes.
And it cuts to Maggie feeding Grandpa from a jar that says senior's last peaches.
That's so
Holy
fucking funny.
That's buying a product with the intent that it'll be that person's last food ever. That's weird to think of. You hit a certain age. There's certain products you don't buy. You don't need it very often. Like, this might be the last time I buy lard. Might be my last lard.
You and I have used bubblegum toothpaste for the last time in our lives. Yeah. Not like recently. It's a while ago. Yeah. It wasn't just the other day that I ran out and decided to switch to Cool Mint.
I often, if I'm getting my teeth fluoride, they offer you a flavor choice. I go bubblegum a lot.
Do you really?
Yeah,
I admire that.
I like bubblegum flavor.
I would feel pressured. Well, I like mint, so it's not like a twist of my arm, but I would feel like I had to choose a mint.
I get silly shit every time. Like, ooh, that sounds fun. The last one was pina colada. I almost clapped. Ooh, new things.
Oh, I love pina colada.
That's a good flavor.
Coconut is so good.
Man, I could spend $400 at a beachside pool drinking overpriced pina coladas because they go down good.
Oh, I've never been able to, but I would love to. Just sit in the sun and drink fucking fruity drinks with little umbrellas.
Yeah, I can't remember how many I just got a good day buzz, and it was still more than I'd ever spent in a bar in North Dakota. And I have drank till unconsciousness in North Dakota.
It was less than a month ago. I drank a couple of shots of rum out of a coconut in my kitchen because I'm a lunatic. I'll buy a coconut and eat some coconut.
I said when I worked in a grocery store, I was like, the fuck do we even stock these for? Every once in a great while, here comes some of that fucking hairy hermit crab shell looking thing. It's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, drive over this in your yard, crack it open. Like,
it's so good. I love a coconut.
I ain't got no beef with coconut, but
there's no beef in coconut.
Yes. That's why I don't like them.
And I took the opportunity. You punch the holes in the bottom and drain all the milk. I put it down the drain. I'm not a coconut milk guy.
Oh, really?
I don't like it. I love coconut. I don't want the weird.
What are you using to poke a hole in it?
Either a Phillips screwdriver or Corkscrew. That's the word.
Yeah.
I almost said wine thing, but corkscrew is what those are called.
That's my ex-wife.
And then just like wrap it in a hand towel and take a hammer and thump it a few times until you get it to crack in half. Or wrap it up in a bath towel, swing it around your head a few times and slam it into the wall or the patio or whatever you want to do. And then just fucking cut it all out of there with a knife and eat coconut.
There we go. Another Friday night.
The big honestly, city. I'm pretty sure it was a Friday night. Just me eating coconut out of the shell alone with no shirt on.
Hair up in a towel because you'd pampered yourself and been bath day.
Bath towel. Holy shit, that's funny.
Spinning in circles, singing Bonnie Raitt's, give them something to talk about. Holy shit. You with a hammer in one hand, a chunk of coconut in her hair, and a big beehive. Let's give him something to talk about.
A little mystery to figure out.
Yeah. On your marker board. Bonnie Raitt, white hair dye? Question mark. You want those streaks through your hair?
Oh yeah, I get the stripes. Holy shit.
It's so decadent.
Oh god.
I love coconut.
I really do. It doesn't last long though in your fridge. It lasts about a week before that'll turn. So you got to get as much.
Really got to get after it. You really got to like coconut.
Got to do something with it. Holy shit! So they debut the new song. Homer is stuck in this theater seat. All the people love the song. They're big fans. Homer gets up to give a standing ovation with everybody else and rips the entire row of theater seating out.
Then panics.
Yep. Then panics. He's like a scared animal.
Yeah, like a moose with big antlers.
Yeah, like or like a dog trying to carry a stick through the doorway. Yeah. Like swinging around, knocking people out. And it goes from, hey, don't laugh at me to, hey, don't be scared of me.
He becomes terrifying. Yeah. Because he's like grunting and groaning. He's panicking. Yeah.
And he's flinging shit around. He spins so fast that the little seat number plaques go flying off, sticking into people's face. Yeah. And so he finally pulls himself out of these seats and goes running out of there and not feeling good about himself. That scene, because there's a fucking spinning newspaper that says like blimp disaster or something like that. And it's spinning and it's just Homer going, no, keep spinning it, please. I don't want to read it. And it kind of pulls back to Marge is just at the kitchen table spinning this newspaper at him, which is a really dumb joke that I really like.
I got a kick out of it too.
And she's like, well, maybe you gotta do something, Homer. Maybe this is the thing. You gotta fucking work on this. And she sends him, she thinks, to some manner of like Fat People Anonymous thing. And he's walking past, Coffee Addicts Anonymous, and Smokers Anonymous, and Alcoholics Anonymous. And he gets to the room that he's supposed to be in, and it's all these fat people. I think Comic Book Guy is the only one we recognize.
I feel like there's one other.
Oh, the judge.
Yeah.
Who we haven't heard speak in a long time.
Yep, the judge is there.
And so it's not like a let's all get into shape thing. It's a let's be fat and celebrate.
Fat acceptance.
Thing. Yes, fat acceptance. The group is called Big is Beautiful, is the meeting that he's at. And this is where he meets Albert, who is in a rascal scooter, even though he seems to be smaller than some of the other people.
Yeah, not even that big.
Yep, he's in a scooter.
Voiced by anyone known?
I don't believe so, no. I didn't... off the top of my head catch it when they showed it at the end of the credits, but I think it's Kevin Michael Richardson, who's done voices on this show forever.
Oh, okay.
He plays the guy who owns the clam on Family Guy.
Yeah,
the real deep voice, Peter.
Yep.
Maybe I shouldn't do the voice.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable.
Okay. Me neither.
The cat looks sad.
Let's give him something to talk about.
But that gets the cat real startled. You violently hitting a fucking coconut while singing that song. Jesus.
With no shirt and my hair up in a beehive.
Yeah. I don't want to see what's going on downstairs. As long as he's hiding behind that kitchen island.
I ain't got the hair for a beehive towel. I don't have enough of it. So he meets Albert, and Homer buys in big. Shocker.
Yeah,
It's
right?
like, you don't need to lose weight. You need to just accept who you are. But, like, these guys go a step too far. Like, they're, like, whatever.
Militant.
Like, be proud of how you know, whatever. Feel good about yourself. But they, like, are shitty, we find out later.
Yeah.
So Homer goes to the bar and lectures the barflies about their hurtful fat language. Yeah. And he runs down this huge fucking list of things they're not allowed to call him anymore. And Mo kind of gets on board like, yeah, and when you guys call me a gargoyle, I don't really like that either. And then Homer is pulled away by his group. They are protesting at Forever 21 Waste, which is fun. Yeah. That's a fun store name.
Yeah.
And they get arrested. I like that fucking Wiggum shows up and they're like, what do you do? You're one of us, Wiggum. And he's like, you're right. And immediately Lou just arrests him.
Yeah.
And throws him in the back of the car, tases the shit out of him. Lou working through some things.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah. Imagine Lou's life.
Yeah. We get one episode so far in all these years that we get a little bit of a deep dive into Lou.
Boy, if that even, I don't remember
isn't
that.
Isn't he dating somebody at one point? Doesn't someone date Lou?
If you told me that's true, I'd believe you, but I don't remember it.
Am I just imagining shit?
I think you might be having fever dreams.
Yeah.
Save me, Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah. That's the one where Lou takes his shirt off.
Nathan, you're licking your lips a lot.
Like as he's unbuttoning his pants, it cuts away.
What? I don't know that that's real.
Then you're in 8th grade chemistry class with no pants on. Everyone's laughing at you. Like,
sit back down. You're making all of us uncomfortable.
That's an episode, right?
Nathan, this is an M&H. You can't be doing that shit in here.
Explaining an episode of The Simpsons to the clearly scared cashier.
So Marge bails out Homer, but this is so dumb. Mm-hmm. Homer is like, nope, I found my tribe. So he goes back into jail with the rest of the Biggest Beautiful movement, and they're out having a rally. And Marge comes to the rally to get Homer and gives him some manner of lecture, and Albert stands up out of his rascal scooter and immediately dies.
Yeah,
because he stood up.
Yeah.
We do get a fun joke that I really liked where we're at Albert's funeral and the guy brings out an urn and sets it on the altar, and then he leaves frame, and then he comes back with several more urns and puts them on the altar and does it a third time. To the point there's 10 urns.
He ain't that big.
Sitting on the altar, and then he leaves one last time and comes back with a huge burlap sack that says overflow ashes and throws it by the altar.
Ridiculous.
There is 40 people's worth of ashes there. I thought that was a fun joke.
One 140-pound person fits in one urn. Mm-hmm. Why would it take 12 for him?
That's fun. If you stare at the math, it really doesn't work. But
I bet a fat guy goes up like a Roman candle once you start burning that fat, because that fat will burn. You know?
See, I imagine it's like you ever have one of them hog roasts where you bury it in the ground for a while. I bet it takes a while.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just.
Or even like a luau style roast takes a while. That takes all fucking day.
Cooks up real nice though.
Oh, it does. The cracklings on the person. Yeah. You and I are going to yield some good cracklings.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome.
Cracklins is for sure my new stage name. Give it up for Cracklins.
Doing a little dance when you come out on stage. Falling and splitting your pants.
Oh,
I did it again. That's your catch line, yeah? Uh-oh, I did it again. You with your dick stuck in a beehive. Oh, I did it again. Just a crowd just screaming in approval.
That's my here's your sign.
Yeah.
That's my get her done.
Yeah. Oh, what's behind this curtain? Uh-oh, I did it again.
Oh, shit. You laugh. I'd kill it on the fucking county fairs.
My God,
up here.
yeah.
Oh, my God, you hear Cracklin's going to be in New Rockford?
Yeah, let me open for you at least. Cracklin's.
You can carry my bags.
Putting big fucking freckles with a marker on your face. Oh.
With a strand of straw in my teeth. I'll have 4 cassette albums available in every truck stop across the Dakotas.
Laughing Hyena presents Cracklin's.
Oh, God, Laughing Hyena.
Holy fuck, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, it is.
You see, Laughing Hyena was a record label that almost strictly cassettes, later CDs, produced strictly for truck stops and truckers in particular.
Yeah.
A lot of raunchy novelty music acts and comedians.
Yeah, it was where you went for Jeff Foxworthy tapes or the 30-point buck.
Yep.
Or, you know.
Ron White for years. Ron White was around for a long time before he was on the blue collar and became real popular. But I remember seeing Laughing Hyena cassettes of him back when he had a mustache. Like,
jeez, I don't know that I've ever seen him with a mustache.
From like the late 80s.
I like Ron White.
Yeah, me too.
Easily my favorite out of those 4.
Yeah, him, then Foxworthy, then fucking Larry the Cable Guy, then 40 yards of fucking gravel, and then down in the sub belly is fucking
Bill Engvall.
Bill Engvall.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's the ranking I would give it to. I don't know. I might, after that last special of his, I might put Larry above Jeff.
Yeah.
Fucking Jeff coming out here with his fucking everybody gets a participation trophy shit. Like, fuck you.
Better than that, Foxworthy.
God, or you used to be anyway.
Yeah.
You fucking pud.
Hot Foxworthy takes for 2022 only here at America's Barley Basket.
Because, man, before that special came out, I would have told people, like, no,
he's better than you'd think.
He's better than you think. He put in the fucking miles. He did the work and became the fucking biggest thing in the world there for a while. Yeah. Give the man a little credit. He might not be your flavor, but God damn it, he did the work. And then that new special comes out, and it's just him farting on millennials for 40 minutes straight.
Easy.
And I'm like, you fucking, you meme reading asshole.
Yeah, like at that point, like, are you even writing any of your jokes? You're just hiring this out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, that's the extent of our Jeff Foxworthy rage.
And that's the episode.
Oops, I did it again. So Homer gives this speech at fucking Albert's funeral, and he's like, you live to the ripe old age of, and the fucking mortician comes in and whispers, he's like, 23, which is funny.
Ridiculous.
Albert was not drawn that way, but he kind of freaks out, like, you guys got to do better. You guys got to take care of yourselves. What the fuck? And then he meets Marge out in the lobby. What do you call the front part of a church before you're in the church proper?
What is that? There's a
fucking
name
word for it.
It's a mezzanine.
No, that's not what mezzanine is.
Yeah.
It's like a church foyer.
Not the rectory. I'm just thinking random church words.
No, yeah, it's not the rectory, not the.
Oh man. And I remember seeing
someone out there screaming at their phone right now.
Why the fuck you know it? It's this.
I don't know. It's the fucking entryway. It's the place where the pamphlets no one reads.
Where everyone hangs the coats up at.
Yep, exactly. Where you get greeted by an usher who doesn't want to be there that
Where it's a little wall of mailbox squares wherever church correspondence you would need. I remember as a kid, like, what the fuck? Our family had a little box labeled with our family name on it. Yeah.
You getting a lot of mail at the church?
Just be these little fucking, I don't know what even would be in them now that I think about. You know what I think would be an example of something that would get put in there? the little envelopes we used for our Sunday school offering.
Oh,
like
sure.
Everyone that had kids in Sunday school, they put a box, with 20 or 50 of those in it. You put your coins. Or ours always went to some fucking schlub that was going through seminary. Save your pennies. Well, this will help so and so get through seminary. He quit like 2/3 of the way. And I always wonder, I asked him, whatever happened to that guy? We're putting through fucking college. He bailed.
And does what now?
Our church has a theme of pastors bailing and getting truck driving. We've had 2 in a row now that have quit. They couldn't handle the fucking grind. Now they're fucking on the open road. Are you on the highway to heaven? Nope, just the highway. On the highway to fucking Bismarck is where I am.
Why would I serve Jesus when I can make him take the wheel? Fuck it. We're hauling water today, boys.
Hands behind my head, battery-powered trucker's helper on my crank. If I die, I die.
Find my own Magdalene behind this fucking Love's truck stop out of Jamestown, North Dakota.
You can fucking wire it in so you can just blow all your fucking nut out the exhaust. That's working. The fucking upfront costs are not good, but boy, once you get that set, that's living. That's living. No muss, no fuss.
Jesus Christ.
They'll just sprayed our windshield. Is that blast?
Step 1, buy a truck. Step 2, buy some old milking equipment.
Explaining
You know what? Fuck it. I could lease the truck.
Bringing the truck to a machine shop. Well, there's a mechanic shop up there. This isn't for a mechanic. This is a little off the beaten path. And the fucking machine shop guy's clearly grossed out, but he loves his job so much. He wants to the figuring it out.
He's a problem solver.
I think we can do this.
Listen, I got an air compressor and I can keep a secret. Let's do this.
Air compressor would be a very important aspect of that. Otherwise you're just gonna gum up the works. You gotta have pressure behind it. You
and I can't sit here and engineer a trucking blowjob machine. We can't. This is a Simpsons podcast. Jesus hell.
Send in your schematics.
Don't send in your schematics. I'm the one who opens the emails. Whew. I mean, send them if you got them. But so Homer meets his wife out in the church entryway. Let's call it church foyer. And is like, he says, "I'm so sorry. I was proud of myself." And she's like, "That's not the lesson I wanted you to." Well, anyway. And they make up, and that's the end of the episode. Except Homer's like, "I promise I'll just yo-yo diet for the rest of our lives." And we get a fun montage of them walking and getting older as his weight fluctuates.
Yeah, he goes back to Moo Moo Homer for a hot minute.
Yep, we get Moo Moo Homer for just a brief second. And
ripped.
He'll get buff, and then he'll get fat again, and then thin, and then fatter again. He's all over the place.
We get a fat that's between regular Homer and Moo Moo Homer too. There's a slightly bigger version of Homer.
And it's in his face. You can see his neck's kind of puffed up. And then we get a dumb joke stapled on the end with Bart is a RoboCop now, and he has Milhouse's head in it. They fucking can't resist themselves going a little too far in these.
So pointless.
But the first part of this with Homer doing the fucking yo-yoing, I thought was nice. Look at them getting older and Homer changing. That's fun.
I agree.
Not a fan of this episode either. We're 4 deep, and I've yet to find one that I was like, "Oh fuck yes, this episode."
Yeah, I don't think I found any where I'm that excited, but I'm definitely higher on this batch. I think I might have disliked the Musk one more than you, but this one I thought, no. You're right. This one ain't nothing special at all.
But I'm skimming through my notes of these 4 that we've covered so far, and at least every one has something in quotes, like a joke, a line that I could latch onto, something. And frankly, I'm fine because I'm still running off of the high of last week's Futurama crossover. So I'm fine. I still got those good vibes in me.
I had to go read the reviews to make me, I know it. I knew I was right.
I can't be the only one.
You know who didn't like it? Shocker. The fucking AV Club people.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
I don't know who that writer is, because every once in a while I'll be like, did people care for this episode? And that's usually the first thing you get is whoever was reviewing them for the AV Club. I will tell you this. They fucking hated the Kang and Kodos episode we covered earlier.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
That got a D plus on AV Club.
Really?
Yeah. Whoever was reviewing those is one of those people we say, oh, I bet Simpson dweebs really hated this one.
He or she is the premier Simpson
King dweeb.
Yeah, King and Queen dweeb. Our final episode of The Badge, episode 14, My Fair, F-A-R-E, Lady.
Get it?
Get what they're fucking doing there, you fucking piece of shit. You clean the shit out of your ears. Listen up.
Right.
Simpsons.
Nathan, you're real aggro right now. You're thinking about that blowjob robot, aren't you?
Just a couple pieces I can't work out. I don't know pneumatics.
I need more gaskets.
Yeah.
Give me more gaskets.
More O-rings.
More Loctite.
He's got too many until you need them. They don't got the right size. Ooh, I just need a blast. Just go do it so you can work. No.
You sound like everyone. You sound like everyone you saw in those fucking Woodstock documentaries.
I just need a blast. The pipes are rusty.
Oh, buddy.
Blast out this rust. We have
fun.
Yeah, we sure do. We get some kind of like 8-bit couch gag, which was fun visually.
Pixel art.
Yeah.
Pixel art's fun.
That was fun.
And this would have been the time of pixel art being pretty hot, especially
really?
in like video games. Like I tried to look up to see, because it tells you who these guys are who made this at the end of the episode. So I was like, this has to be someone I know from video games.
Renowned.
But I think they're just artists. I think they're just pixel art artists.
They're just people.
Yeah.
Just like us.
I was like, this really looks like The Binding of Isaac, which is a video game that would have been out, several years before this. I was like, is it The Binding of Isaac, guys? But no, it's just a couple of pixels.
I mean, that was a sequel to The Ballad of Jane by L.A. Guns.
It is not.
No. Not even close, huh?
L.A. Guns? What are we doing?
If you guys like Ballad of Jane, you're going to love The Binding of Isaac. I'm certain we won't. Just the one guy in the audience at a county fair 4 p.m. show that LA Guns are playing in 2004.
It blows my mind that LA Guns exist.
Yeah. I feel like LA Guns have some members that were maybe part of other bands, or am I wrong? Or they had a chance to be in Guns N' Roses or something?
Aren't they the band that like half the members left to be in Guns N' Roses? Isn't that where LA Guns and Hollywood Rose were the two bands?
Is that what it is? No shit.
I could be mistaken. I might be making all this stuff up. There could be a gas leak.
Like Tracy
in here.
Guns is the name of like the creative force in LA Guns.
Yeah, but I thought some members of LA Guns left the band, and then some members of, I want to say, Hollywood Rose left the band.
Oh, no shit.
And that's how you got Guns N' Roses.
But then, like, Duff, I assume Duff left, like, the Seattle punk scene, and he was in Catbutt, which is cool.
That's a great band name.
I thought he left Catbutt, or whatever punk band he was in, to be in Guns N' Roses, but maybe he was in a preliminary hair metal band.
I could be wrong, and again, someone's screaming at their audio device right now, but like, unless I'm having some weird fucking fever dream from an episode of Behind the Music from 25 years ago after I got kicked in the head by a horse, like,
which happened thrice weekly in your adolescence. Pow, 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 pow.
Twice a summer at least. You sounded like ZZ Top just now. Ow, ow, ow.
Like you're taking it too nonchalantly, like not even worried anymore. Pum, 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 pum. Oh, I'm dizzy. I'm gonna lay down.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go watch VH1.
Guess Buckles doesn't want to get combed.
Eating a handful of dried potpourri out of the bowl.
Yeah. Honey, that's not snacks.
These chips are bad.
These chips taste like autumn. Like, honey, is that a complaint? I don't even know.
Why were these in the bathroom anyway?
Fondue sucks shit. Holy fuck, dumping nacho cheese into a potpourri heater. Not even just eating the chunks of shit with the cheese. Getting sick from this cheese.
Anyway, I'm out of chips. Buy more chips when next time you're in town. Holy shit.
His head's always covered in different lumps. Marlon's sprouting mogwais over there.
Just let him watch his VH1. Best week ever is on next.
Just got kicked by a horse. I got kicked by a horse. Like, yes, Marlon, you have a very bad concussion. Now it's from that horse that kicked me. Yes.
How?
Yeah. Everyone else's fucking development was stunted by the teacher repeating everything to you 25 times. How many of me do you see, Marlon? Well, like always, there's 8 of you. No.
I don't know how we afford so many teachers in this school.
Got those hot bathroom chips? Starving over here. You running in the middle of class, you get up and run an extension cord, bring it back, and plug in a potpourri heater. Stingy.
Too hot.
Yeah.
Trying to cool it down. Oh, God.
So,
What are we talking about?
episode starts.
Oh, sure.
It's the Simpsons podcast. Yeah. Episode starts with some kind of Jetsons-like beginning sequence, which in true Simpson fashion really has nothing to do with the episode
Not
itself.
at all.
It's like, why? It's in...
It was kind of fun, though. You
Yeah.
may as well.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it was the Jetsons' 50th or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was in the news recently, like sometime this summer was when George Jetson was born.
Yep.
His birth date's something like July something 2022.
Yeah, that's fun. I don't have much attachment to Hanna-Barbera cartoons
Either.
But boy, do I really like the Jetsons opening theme. I really like their theme song.
Yeah.
Because it explains the whole concept of the show. Introduces you to all the characters.
Yeah, it does. You say that. Yep. Man, even as a kid, I always found Hanna-Barbera to be low rent.
Well, it is. Hanna-Barbera was pretty budget. That's how Hanna-Barbera got as big as they are. Because they could do it cheaper than everybody else.
Yep. But you'd watch a good Saturday morning cartoons and then watch Hanna-Barbera. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is horse shit.
Well, I mean, by the time you were around watching, Saturday morning cartoons, fucking Hanna-Barbera's been around since the fucking 50s.
Yeah.
They've been doing it a long time.
I think 60s into the
60s, their big
I'd say
heyday.
67 to 77 was probably their real fucking, cutting fat hogs in the ass.
When they...
Old fucking homespun wisdom from Nathan Folsom.
Fucking pioneer colloquialisms. I don't know if I've told this before, but have you ever seen any writings about the Yogi Bear collar? So Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound and fucking Snagglepuss, all these Hanna-Barbera characters have a collar. Like Yogi Bear has a necktie, Boo Boo has a bow tie, and how if you really do all the math and you want to connect to the dots, you can say that the collars changed animation forever, because that meant that for the character to turn, they didn't have to animate the whole body. Yogi can go from looking to the right to looking to the left without having to move his body.
Oh, they just animate collar up.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And the collar is how they... that's why all of their characters have a collar, is because that's how they were able to make cartoons so cheaply, which is how they were able to take over the fucking cartoon industry.
I think the Great Grape Ape has a bow tie.
Yeah, they all
fucking
Top Cat has a collar of some sort.
Oh my god, fucking what's the fucking cowboy horse? El Kabong.
Quick Draw McGraw
has a scarf.
Yep. Huckleberry Hound.
Yep.
They all have a thing.
The only one I can't think is Snagglepuss. Or no, I mean, what's the Jabberjaw, the big shark?
Shark? I don't know if the shark does.
But you know what? Jabberjaw, I think, was a late addition. So maybe by that point, they didn't need to do it that way as much.
That could be.
It's like, God damn it, we got it. We want a shark. Sharks are hot. We got Jaws. Everyone's got Jaws fever, baby. We need a dancing shark.
Talking cartoon shark.
He fucking was like curly.
He was curly. Yep.
Jesus, yeah.
Most of my Hanna-Barbera love comes from Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Yeah. They really. And that's one of the funner aspects of that show was giving those characters a little more time in the sun.
Oh, absolutely. Potamus.
Yeah. Oh my God. Get that thing I sent you. The thing.
Mentalk, that show did wonders for the Hanna-Barbera catalog.
So back to the Simpsons.
We're fucking in the intro.
So we get the Jetsons nonsense over with. Cut to Homer waking up. Shithead that he is. Marge needs help. She's printing out like an itinerary with like old style. There's a name for that.
It's a fucking dot matrix printer.
Yeah, and she has the paper trimmings, and she throws them in a box for paper trimmings for homeless kids or something like that. Yeah, that's a good joke.
How does she have a dot matrix printer? They really lean into how fucking loud those were.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're fucking shaving a big animal.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Something's getting sheared. And Homer fucking just ignores Marge's messages and then goes to the bar and proceeds to get fucking drunk as quick as he can to be legally drunk. I'm saying, "Hey, sorry, Marge, I wish I could help, but I'm already drunk."
It's 8 a.m.
And she's like, "It's 8 a.m. Like, when do they open?" Because we get Mo like stretching. Oh, we go, gotta do this, gotta do that.
Limber up the tap pulling arm.
Yeah, and it's Homer just fucking just beating at the fucking band, waiting for it to fucking, hey, I got to do this quick. But he does. So Marge is stuck doing that all fucking day.
He fucking slams a beer, and then she's like, "Well, how many have you had?" Because she's on the phone, and he's like, and he blows into a breathalyzer, and it says 0.06. So he quick slams 2 more and blows till it says 0.08. Yeah. "Oh, I'm sorry, Marge.
Like it's a finish line.
Nothing I can do." Yeah. Like, you piece of shit.
So then we get an extended montage of Marge fucking Tokyo drifting through fucking Springfield, dropping off all 3 kids at different events.
Dropping off, picking up, like she's doing it.
Yeah, I like there's one where Lisa gets out in a swimsuit, swims to the pool, which Marge follows. Then Marge puts it in reverse as Lisa reverses, and then there's like what kind of event did Lisa go to? She swam 2 laps
swimming
and left.
Lessons.
Yeah.
It says swimming lessons on the sign.
And then Maggie's just getting dropped off at birthday parties. Bart, I know, goes and plays baseball.
And then later Scouts, because he's in a Scouts uniform. Yeah, Marge killing it.
Yeah, so she's hauling these kids all over the place. And this whole time, fucking Homer's just been sitting in the bar. Well, actually, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. It's while filling up with gas, she talks to a guy with a smile on his, like on the grill of his car. What was that from?
That was a lift.
That was a lift thing. Yep. Was it a smile?
I don't remember what it was. If it was a smile, or there was something that they had Lyft people put on their car. Yeah. Some identifier.
Which by the time Lyft came to Fargo, they were done doing it.
They were done doing that. Yeah.
Just put a sticker in the back glass. Yeah.
I think Lyft was also the ride up front and we'll fist bump you.
Really?
Rideshare company.
Was it a big mustache with Lyft, or was it?
I think you're right. The big pink mustache.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was Uber or Lyft. One of them encouraged you to sit in the front, and that's lunatic behavior.
Yeah. The only time I will sit in front is if it's a tiny vehicle and it's the only thing available. And they use, as someone who drove Uber, I'd get it. Like, we don't need you laying down in the back of my car. You just sit up like a big boy.
Oh, if it's like the only time I'll ever sit in front in a fucking ride chair is if there are already 2 people in the back.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm trying. There's been time. It's been very rare. I don't take a lot of ride shares, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty rarely. Like if I'm in a different city.
Yeah. So she sees this guy and they get talking. I think it's called Here to There, which is it's Uber, but here they're like, oh yeah, it's a social media based platform for get paid to drive people around. And Marge's like, I ain't getting paid shit.
I think
shuttling these kids around.
I think it's pretty wild how far out of their way they go to not say either of the names.
Yeah.
Like even in sentences, they're just like, hey, this is a social media based rideshare program. Like they won't just say Uber or Lyft.
Did they make a joke where they use those words?
They use those words in a non-related sentence. Yes, that's fun.
Yeah. So now that seed has been planted in Marge's head. Meanwhile, Mo ends up stumbling upon some theater tickets for Lainey Fontaine, who's like this brassy old Hollywood gal who has stories and sings and dances and shit. I think it's Sideshow Mel doesn't have cash, so he pays with those tickets or something like that.
Front row Broadway tickets. Yeah.
And he's like, well, I can't shut down on a Saturday night. And they're like, yeah, you can. We'll take care of it. It's the fucking Barflies. It's Homer, Lenny, and Carl. Like, oh, we got it. And Homer's like, yeah, you took care of me earlier today. I'll take care of you now. Go enjoy yourself, which he does. He gets dressed. I think his dressing up is to take off the apron and put on a cummerbund. Yeah. He's
already got a bow tie.
Ready for the theater. And it's him by himself, just enthralled, just loving it. And she's like making eyes at him, like, Jesus. Voiced by anyone?
No, I don't think so.
It's voiced by someone that sounds a lot like Joan Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of who she is. Yeah. She's very much a Joan Rivers type.
And god damn it, if he doesn't fucking get in the limo they're going to fucking go back to Mo's place. Meanwhile, fucking Homer, or maybe it's Carl actually, has the great idea, ladies' night, women drink free.
Yeah.
I said, well, how are we going to make any money? He's like, hey, you get the fucking ladies in here, the hordes of men will come in to buy him beers to try to pick up these women, which, I mean, that's a thing bars do. It happens.
That's how that works. Yeah.
I don't think around here it's often not women drink free. Maybe a couple places, but usually it's just cheap as fuck.
Yeah, cheap or $2 for $1s yeah.
But it just gets full of drunk women. That's what I like.
I laughed at this a lot. Yeah,
that like book club that breaks out into fisticuffs. So
because it's rival book clubs.
Yep. And they are fucking demolishing it. Meanwhile, here comes Mo with fucking Lainey Fontaine. Like, yeah, it's a nice little, real understated joint. We could kind of have some time to ourselves. Walks in, it's fucking bedlam.
And that one biker chick tears out of there, and she's got a fucking denim jacket with a big patch on the back that says like Yamaha Mamas or something like that. That's fun.
Yeah. So Lainey's like, hey, I date losers, but they've already got to hit rock bottom or something like that. Like, this is apparently your rock bottom. So, and Mo's line, you ruined my chance of getting with a woman of a certain age.
That's so funny.
And he's fucking very pissed at those guys, but kind of gets over it quick.
Yeah.
Because that was like, is that what this episode's going to be? Is them not friends anymore, and then eventually they become friends at the end?
Nah, he gets over it pretty quickly.
Yeah, right?
Good on Mo. Ducks back and all.
So and they feel bad, like Jesus Christ, because the bar is trashed. I mean, like it's trashed to the point it can no longer operate, which Mo's wasn't a gem to begin with. But they feel bad, and they're like, hey, there's an opening at the plant. We can get you a job. And they're like, there's a good gag. It's like, all you gotta do is pass a background check. And he's like, it's like, wait a week and I'll hand that in.
How far back do they go?
Yeah.
6 months. I'll apply next week. You can see him like doing the math in his head.
So they have him applying. God damn it, if he doesn't become a janitor at the power plant. Smithers like, yeah, it's a janitor position, but there's ways to work up. And he's doing his fucking, just cleaning the fucking, is he sweeping or mopping?
Mopping, yeah.
Yeah, that's when Burns wanders up and gives him shit. It's like, look at these spots here and there. There's all these, he gets a checkerboard floor, you unwrap mummy.
That's so funny. You missed this spot. And that one over there. You've missed half the spots on these floors. This is a checkerboard pattern, you unwrap.
Because I like how Mo doesn't have fear of Burns yet, like the rest of everyone else does. So Burns is winding up to fire his ass because he loves doing that. He's about to get dismissed, I'm sure, very quickly. But that's when some kind of like state organization fucking inspectors.
Yeah.
And Burns, because the place is a fucking goddamn hellhole, Burns is fucking panicking. And that's when fucking Mo steps in and is like, well, I see here you have a mustache on your ID. How come you don't have a mustache now? I was like, I was in a Freddie Mercury cover band. It's like, well, that don't mean nothing to me. I don't know who you are. And he's like, they get kind of flummoxed. It's like, it'll take me weeks to grow that mustache or years to get a new ID.
That's funny. That's a fun joke.
And they're like, mark my words, we'll be back and you're going to be sore. It's like, hey, whatever, you know. So fucking Burns goes from fucking gonna fire him to in love with him. He's like, how do you fit so much brilliance into that tiny ethnic head? So ridiculous. He's like staring at his skull, like looking at his head in amazement. And he becomes a supervisor. Like, you're now the supervisor of Section 7A or something like that. And of course, knowing Mo, he lets the power go to his head. He eventually demotes Homer to water flower. Just so good. It's like, well, what do you need? What do you need water, Mr. Just take care of my Venus flytrap. And that fucking thing grabs his head. Well, what do I do now? Just lean into it.
Burns doesn't even look up from what he's doing. Yeah. Some people say that you can catch more flies with honey, but I prefer fly traps. Yeah. That's fun.
I think this fucking Homer starts snoring inside it. Yeah.
And he tells him, just lean into it. Yeah. It'll be over soon.
Which, if there were fly trap, that would be an agonizing death because they basically just make you rot.
They like secrete something. Yeah.
That makes flesh break down. Jesus.
What an insane. We take a moment to really drink in the fact that Venus flytraps are real. Carnivorous plant.
Yeah, there's a few different colors. There's pitcher plants too, where they're like a long tubular flower. And the way it works is they have something that their flower smells like rot, and flies get tricked into flying down in it. And it gets to a point they can't fly out, and they settle down on the acetic liquid at the bottom, and they dissolve.
Insane.
I think maybe we've discussed this on this podcast where I saved up my nickels when I was 6 years old. Oh boy, here it comes. There's an ad of a child-sized fucking Venus flytrap snapping away. Like, holy shit, I'm going to be the coolest kid around. Fucking send off my $6. That couldn't have been that much fun.
A self-addressed stamped envelope.
Wait 8 weeks. That's a quarter of my life at that point. And it finally comes in the mail. What do I get? Fucking seeds with the most fucking insane growing. And my mom, who plants flowers, so she was okay. Let's figure this out. It's like, we're gonna have to drive to Bismarck. That's a horticulture shop.
We don't have this much tarp.
Yeah, a lot of work. Like, honey, you're not gonna get a Venus flytrap. Ugh. Foiled by the charlatans in the back of a Boy's Life magazine.
That'll learn you.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. Promises of huge carnivorous plants. Yeah. That's how they get you.
So after this, it starts with Lenny and Carl in the lunchroom. Like, fucking Mo walks up with this fancy dinner and like, yeah, we're gonna go over there. And then Mo's like, well, you guys don't want to eat with me anymore? It's like, well, like, and Homer right away is kind of like still there, but he does something to piss off Homer. Yeah. So then it's just Mo eating alone, which probably not much different from his days working at the fucking at the fucking bar. So then we cut to fucking Marge is really fucking getting into the life of being a Lyft driver. And we get I thought a good, I'm not usually a montage guy. This one's good. Yeah. We get so many oddball Springfield citizens getting rides. Like, we get Dr. Nick demanding getting driven to Mexico. Yep. Thought that was nice.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Disco Stu wants you to turn a U. Just, it's like faster, slower. Just Marge getting beaten into the ground as an Uber driver.
Fucking Nelson.
Yeah.
Mom, what's for dinner? I'm not your mother, honey. Yeah. Hey, I'm the one paying, aren't I? And she goes, okay, meatloaf? And he goes, ooh, what's meatloaf? Holy shit.
So good.
The life of Nelson.
Heartbreaking is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Gil.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
Gil.
Yeah. Shouting out facts.
Just random fucking factoids.
Yeah. What are you? This isn't Cash Cab. Oh, it's never Cash Cab. How crestfallen he is.
Him $1. Yeah. Just a one loose dollar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's never Cash Cab.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So she's fucking getting ran into the ground by that job. She picks up a very depressed Mo, gives him a ride. It's almost like 1940s film noir dialogue.
Yeah, it's a little
know?
noir-y.
And that song playing was good, like
Yeah.
some sad, I don't know, like a fucking Harry Nilsson type fucking sad 70s like piano fucking like I don't know singer-songwriter type thing, just basically explaining what's going on.
Yeah.
Like Mo's very sad. Marge is sick of driving. And drop him off and at Mo's, and Marge, I think we'd both be much happier if we quit our new jobs.
Yeah.
It's okay, that makes sense. But then that's when we've seen them earlier. All the cabbies are getting ran out of work by the here to there driver, which is that happened in the fucking real life with Uber and Lyft pushing the cabbies out. So all these cabbies are gonna like fucking rough up Marge. We get like they're swinging air fresheners over their head
And their medallions, their cab driver medallions.
and one of them is voiced by Christopher Lloyd.
Fucking right, it is.
Playing his character from fucking Taxi.
I've never seen that show. Is it good?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I mean,
the cast is insane.
Yeah. A pre-fame or pre-big fame Danny DeVito,
Yeah.
Judd Hirsch,
Andy Kaufman,
Mary Lou Henner, who went on to do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You recognize her? Yeah, Andy Kaufman. Yeah. Fucking.
It's just one of those like at my age, I know Cheers. I have seen a few episodes of Cheers. I have seen people talk about Cheers, but Taxi is like just before that, you know?
Yeah. Taxi, I think, I bet at its peak, Taxi was one of the top 3 or 5 most watched sitcoms in America.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't think it had as big. I mean, Cheers had like a 7-year run of dominance. I don't think Taxi's was quite that big. Taxi also might have been one of the first big ABC sitcoms. If I'm that, is a 40% chance that's wrong. But I think I remember my mom saying that ABC was the last of the big 3 to come to Botno, and she's like, "Yeah, like we actually missed most of Taxi because we hadn't gotten ABC yet."
Sure.
I think that's how it worked.
And you got it before we did.
Yeah.
Like ABC is channel 17 back home, and we didn't get ABC until we got satellite in like 1998.
No shit, yeah. Funny that you think if you had a big kick-ass antenna you could pull from Bismarck?
Maybe. I feel like there was an ABC affiliate in Bismarck by that point, but it was, tough to get.
Yeah. I mean, fucking Bismarck would have had to have gotten one before Minot, you'd think, or at the same. Oftentimes it's the same. They're connected.
Yeah.
Like if you watch the local news back home, it's often the people saying shit to you are in Bismarck.
We were also further from Bismarck than you were from Minot, and at the bottom of a fucking creek bed.
We're elevated where we're at.
Overturned wagon. Getting TV was tough where I came from.
You know how rural you are when your local news is 250 miles away.
It's 2 days old. Yeah. It takes a while for the signal to get there.
So Marge is in a tough spot. All these cabbies are going to kick her ass, and that's when fucking Mo comes out with his trusty shotgun.
Fuck yeah, he does.
And basically tells him to leave her alone. He's like, leave her alone. And wipe out the backs of your cabs annually. And they all fucking guffaw at that. Like, never. But they leave her alone. And that's, I mean, I guess we get just cut back to Mo back at the bar serving his buddies beers.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite of the bunch.
I mean, mine too, and I didn't think it was anything special. It speaks more to how much I didn't like the other ones.
Yeah, I think there's just enough left. And I definitely like this batch more than you, but yeah, it's the bar ain't set high.
I think, honestly, gun to the head, that Elon Musk one is probably my favorite.
Insanity.
Because I didn't care for any of these, but that one did have good jokes and a fair amount of Mr. Burns in it, because of their business dealings in that one. Now, that being said, I didn't fucking like that episode, but it's my favorite of these 5.
That might be my least favorite of these 5.
This is a fucking tough run that we had today.
I thought this was slightly below average, but just slightly.
Yeah.
One thing, though, usually we get 1 out of the 5 that's a beacon of hope.
Right.
Yeah. None of these were.
Yeah. It was fine. Everything's fine. We're doing fine.
Everything's cool.
You want to do this bullshit again next week?
Fuck,
I guess.
They just keep coming out.
You got anything going on? What's going on in life? Tell me about you, Nathan.
The only one, we want to make this a comedic podcast, right?
Oh, boy.
We don't need to get into the drama now.
Right.
Just fucking living, scraping by, just fucking out there fucking grifting. Just trying to stay ahead of the goddamn fucking steamroller.
Out in these streets, just trying to pay the man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel you. I am going to be... I don't quite know how to promote this. I don't even know if we even got anybody in that neck of the woods that listens. But I'm going to be at the Portland, Maine Comedy Festival coming up the 25th through the 28th in Portland, Maine.
So all of our Maine boys and girls.
I have never been anywhere near that part of the world, and this should be fun.
And I don't know, you're probably not from around here. If you are a Maine fan, a common way of greeting a new friend is pulling their pants down. So if you see Marlon.
That's not a real thing.
Shoot.
Nice try.
Yeah,
Boy, you were so crafty with it. How could I?
You're getting pantsed by some well-meaning middle-aged man.
I would turn around and drive back home immediately.
You just... exhale, you step out of your pants, leave your wallet,
keys.
Yeah. Just fucking hail a fucking taxi, take off.
So,
no pants all the way to Fargo. Just no emotion on your face.
And I frankly would like fucking fun tips and tricks. Yo, you know anything about Portland, Maine? All the photos I've seen makes it look like the town from Jaws, and that looks cool. I've been told to eat the lobster rolls, but that's all I know.
Yeah, or just a fresh lobster would be pretty baller.
Yeah, and I don't know what days I'm going to be performing at the festival, but if you're going to be there, come out. It'll be fun. And yeah, send me suggestions as to what the hell I should do out there. It's going to be a fucking 3-day drive. It's 26 hours to drive from Fargo, North Dakota to Portland, Maine.
Just you and your cat.
Just me. I thought about bringing the cat. I honestly did.
I bet a cat get bored on a trip like that.
She'd sleep.
Yeah, cats can sleep all day.
I have learned the trick to a cat car ride is you just turn on the heated seat on the empty passenger seat, and she'll just nap on there all day.
Oh, interesting.
You throw a litter box in the back. If I were gone for 2 days, I would take the cat. But I'm going to be gone for 10 fucking days.
You put the litter box under you so you can fucking piss in it, bro.
Or bring 2 litter boxes is probably the way to solve that.
Too.
We got there.
And you can change them out. That's the cat.
Oh, look at that kid. Boy, that
cat's
that
taking
cat
some
is sick.
Fucking Cadillac dumps. What are you feeding that cat?
Take this cat to the human doctor. Jesus. Cats ate that many peanuts. So yeah, that'll be fun. 25th through the 28th at the Portland, Maine Comedy Festival. It's going to be quite an adventure, Nathan.
You're going to learn about yourself.
So it's weird that this all kind of works out this way. But my first leg of the trip, because I've got it planned out, on Google Maps, the first night on this road trip, I'm going to stay in South Bend, Indiana. I think I can get from Fargo to South Bend in one shot. That's about 10 hours, 10 and a half.
Get through Chicago in the evening.
Through Chicago.
Before traffic's a nightmare.
And get to South Bend. South Bend, Indiana is a town that has been listening to America's Barley Basket in the past few months. So, South Bend people know what I should do after a fucking 10-hour drive to your town if there's something fun to do on a Tuesday. Let a brother know. You can do so at Barley Basket USA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. 5 more episodes next week, episodes 15 through 19 of season 26 of The Simpsons.
Why was I thinking that was a bow on it, but it really wasn't a bow on it?
Not at all. You're always the last one to say something.
Okay, let me think. Bye, everybody.